My cheating ex-wife's life fell apart after she left me for her affair partner, and now my family is pressuring me to meet her, hear her out, and take her back. Miranda left me 6 years ago for her co-worker, Dean. We'd been together since we were kids. She was my first everything. I worked 2 jobs to support us while she finished college. The day she got her first real paycheck, I took her out to celebrate. I thought we were finally going to start building our future together. 4 months later, I came home and found her packing a bag. She sat me down and told me she'd been having an affair with Dean from her office. She was crying, apologizing, saying she loved me but was in love with him. They had this deep connection, this chemistry she claimed we never had. She moved in with him that night. The divorce took 10 days. She didn't fight for anything, didn't take anything. When it was finalized, she asked if we could still be friends. I just broke down right there in the courthouse parking lot and couldn't even speak. I was 25 and completely destroyed. I didn't eat for 2 weeks. My mom had to come stay with me because I couldn't function. It took me 3 years before I even thought about dating again. Fast forward to last month. My mom calls me out of nowhere and her voice has that careful tone like she's about to say something I won't like. She tells me Miranda reached out to her on Facebook. Apparently, Dean cheated on her with a 2-3-year-old from his gym, kicked her out of the apartment they shared, and now she's broke and living back with her parents. My mom actually said she realizes what she lost now. You two were so good together. Maybe this is a second chance for both of you. I reminded my mom that Miranda didn't think we were good together when she was sleeping with Dean in the apartment I helped pay for. But apparently everyone in my family thinks I should at least hear her out because people make mistakes and she's really struggling right now and she was so young when it happened. My aunt even sent me a long text about forgiveness and how holding grudges only hurts yourself. My dad, who barely even talks about emotions, told me that Miranda's dad told him she cries every day and deeply regrets what she did. Here's the thing they don't know. I'm engaged now to someone incredible, to someone who actually chose me first, someone who didn't need to lose me to realize my worth. Her name is Avery, and she's a teacher. She's patient and kind and has never once made me feel like I'm not enough. I didn't tell my family about the engagement yet because I wanted to announce it at Thanksgiving when everyone was together, but the Miranda pressure kept building. Yesterday, Miranda showed up at my house unannounced. I was in the garage working on my car when I heard the doorbell. I opened the door and there she was, looking older and tired, but still trying to smile. She had this whole speech prepared. She started talking about how Dean was the biggest mistake of her life, how she never stopped loving me, how she thinks about me every single day. She said she was immature and stupid and threw away the best thing that ever happened to her. She actually said, "We were supposed to grow old together. We can still have that." I just stood there listening, not saying a word. She kept going, getting more desperate, saying she knows she doesn't deserve another chance, but she's not the same person anymore. She's grown. She's changed. She realizes now that what we had was real, and what she had with Dean was just an illusion. When she finally stopped talking, I looked at her and said, "I'm getting married in 3 months." Her face went completely white. Her mouth opened, but nothing came out. That's when Avery came to the door. She'd been in the kitchen and heard voices. She put her arm around me and asked if everything was okay. Miranda just stood there frozen, staring at Avery's engagement ring. She mumbled something like, "I'm sorry, I didn't know," and practically ran back to her car. Avery asked me who that was and I told her everything. She looked at me and said she understood, that she was proud I moved on. But the next morning, my entire family showed up at our door. My mom, my dad, my aunt, even my brother who I hadn't seen in months. They all stood there on my porch looking at Avery like she was the other woman. My mom actually said, "We need to talk about Miranda." That's when Avery's hand dropped from mine, and she asked me a question that made my blood run cold. "Did you ever actually tell them about us?" The silence that followed was so thick you could cut it with a knife. My family just stood there on the porch, looking confused, while Avery stared at me with this expression I'd never seen before. Not anger exactly, but something worse. Disappointment. I started, but the words sounded weak even to my own ears. At Thanksgiving, I wanted it to be special, make a big announcement when everyone was together. "Thanksgiving is 3 weeks away," Avery said quietly. Her voice had this edge to it that made my stomach drop. "Your ex-wife showed up at our house yesterday. Your mother just said you need to talk about Miranda, and none of them have any idea I even exist." My mom chose that exact moment to speak up. "Honey, we just think you're rushing into something because you're hurt. Miranda made a mistake, but she's realized." "Mom, stop." I cut her off. "This isn't a rebound. Avery and I have been together for 2 years. We're getting married." My brother laughed. Actually laughed. 2 years? Come on, man. You would have mentioned her. "Why would I mention her to people who clearly don't respect my choices?" I shot back. That's when my dad stepped forward. He had this weird look on his face, like he was trying to be sympathetic but also frustrated. "Son, Miranda's been coming around for weeks now. She's been talking to all of us. She told us you two have been in contact, that you've been working through things." I felt my blood run cold. "What?" "She said you asked her to wait while you figured things out," my aunt added. "That you still love her but you're scared of getting hurt again." "That's not true," I said, but my family was already exchanging these knowing looks. like they'd decided I was in denial. I haven't spoken to Miranda in 6 years. Not once. My mom sighed. Honey, she showed us the messages. What messages? Avery's voice was sharp now. She'd stepped away from me, her arms crossed. What the hell is going on? My brother pulled out his phone and turned it toward me. There on the screen were screenshots of text conversations. Messages that looked like they were from my number, talking about missing Miranda, about how I made a mistake letting her go, about how I needed time to sort out my feelings. I never sent these, I said immediately. I don't know what this is, but I never sent any of this. They're from your number, my mom said gently, like she was talking to a child. Miranda wouldn't lie about something like this. She's devastated, honey. She made a mistake years ago, and she's been trying to make amends. Avery was looking at me now with this expression I couldn't quite read. Did you send these? No, I said firmly. I swear to God, I have no idea where these came from, but I could see the doubt creeping into her eyes. My family was all staring at me like I was the one being unreasonable, like I was the problem here. My own mother had tears in her eyes, and I realized she actually believed Miranda over me. You need to choose, my mom said softly. Miranda or this girl, because Miranda's willing to forgive you, to start over, but you can't keep stringing her along like this. This girl? Avery repeated, her voice barely above a whisper. I'm this girl? She turned and walked back into the house. I heard our bedroom door slam a few seconds later. I looked at my family standing on my porch. My mom was crying now, my dad had his arm around her. My brother just looked annoyed, like I was wasting everyone's time. My aunt kept checking her watch. Get off my property, I said. Honey, my mom started. I said, get off my property, all of you, right now. My dad's expression hardened. Don't talk to your mother like that. We're just trying to help you see reason. Miranda made a mistake when she was young. She's learned from it. This Avery girl, how long have you really known her? 2 years? Miranda was your first love. You two were supposed to get married. We were kids, I said, and she chose someone else. She left me for another man, and now she's lying to my entire family about messages I never sent. Can't you see what she's doing? My brother scoffed. Why would she lie? She has nothing to gain from this. I don't know, but I'm going to find out. I pulled out my phone right there on the porch and opened my message history. There was nothing to Miranda, nothing at all. I showed them my screen. Look, no messages. She said you got a new number to talk to her, my aunt said. So your new girlfriend wouldn't find out. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I didn't get a new number. This is the same number I've had for 8 years. But they weren't listening. They'd already made up their minds. My mom was full on sobbing now. We just want you to be happy. Miranda's a good girl. She made one mistake. One mistake? I laughed, but there was no humor in it. She had an affair for months. She packed her bags and moved in with him the same night, she told me. She destroyed me. I couldn't function for weeks. And now she's manipulating all of you into pressuring me to take her back. Or maybe you're just scared, my dad said. Scared of forgiving someone who actually knows you. This Avery, she doesn't have history with you. She doesn't know the real you, like Miranda does. The real me? I shook my head. Miranda saw the real me and decided it wasn't enough. She traded me in for someone she thought was better. That's the truth, not whatever fantasy version she sold you. They left eventually, but not before my mom hugged me and whispered, just think about it. Please, Miranda really has changed. I found Avery sitting on our bed, staring at her engagement ring. When I walked in, she didn't look up. They didn't even know my name, she said quietly. Your mother called me this girl. I know. I'm sorry. You should have told them about me. She finally looked up, and her eyes were red. I've met your family exactly twice. At those big cookouts where there were like 50 people, and both times you introduced me as your friend. Your friend. I thought you were just private about relationships, but now I'm realizing you were ashamed. I wasn't ashamed, I said, sitting down next to her. I just wanted to wait for the right moment. The right moment was 2 years ago, she said, or a year ago, or 6 months ago. But definitely before your ex-wife started showing up and your family started demanding you choose her over me. I'm not choosing her. I'm choosing you. I've always chosen you. Have you? She twisted the ring on her finger. Because from where I'm sitting, it looks like you've kept me hidden while your ex-wife has been running some kind of campaign to get you back, and your whole family is on her side because they don't even know I exist. I didn't know what to say to that. She was right. I'd been so caught up in wanting the perfect announcement, the perfect moment, that I'd basically erased her from my life as far as my family knew. My brother said something before they left, Avery said. She was still looking at the ring, not at me. He said Miranda told them you'd been texting her for months, that you told her you made a mistake, that you wanted her back but you were seeing someone else to make her jealous. That's not true, I said immediately. I know, she said. I know you wouldn't do that, but the fact that your whole family believes her over you, that they showed up here ready to make me leave, that's the problem. These people are supposed to be your family. They're supposed to know you, and they don't even question her story. She was right about that too. I felt this surge of anger at all of them. My mom, my dad, my brother, my aunt, they'd all just accepted Miranda's version of events without even asking me. I need to figure out where those messages came from, I said. Miranda's lying about something, maybe everything. Okay, Avery said. But while you do that, I think I need some space. My heart stopped. What? Not breakup space, she said quickly. Just like, I'm going to stay at my sister's place for a few days, because I need to process this. Your family showing up here, looking at me like I'm some homewrecker when I didn't even know they existed. Finding out you never told them about me. It's a lot. Please don't leave, I said. I'm not leaving, she said. I just need a couple of days to think, to figure out if I want to marry into a family that already hates me before they even met me. She packed a bag. I watched her, feeling helpless, feeling like everything was falling apart. At the door, she turned back. I love you, she said, but you need to fix this, because I can't marry someone who keeps me a secret. And I definitely can't marry into a family that would show up at our house and demand you dump me for your ex. Then she left. I sat in our empty house for about 20 minutes, just trying to process everything that had happened. Then I grabbed my phone and called the one person I thought might help me get to the bottom of this. My best friend Jake answered on the second ring. Hey man, what's up? I need your help, I said. Miranda's lying about something, and I need to prove it. I explained everything. The messages my family claimed to have seen, Miranda showing up at my house, my family's ambush this morning. Jake listened without interrupting, which is one of the things I've always appreciated about him. When I finished, he was quiet for a second. Then he said, okay, so first question. How tech-savvy is Miranda? Not very, I said. Why? Because faking text messages isn't actually that hard if you know what you're doing. There are apps, websites, all kinds of ways to create fake screenshots that look completely real. She could have made those messages herself. But why would she go through all that trouble? I don't know, man, but she's clearly trying to manipulate your family into pressuring you. Maybe she really does want you back, or maybe there's something else going on. I thought about that. 6 years ago, Miranda had left without taking anything. We'd split our assets cleanly. She'd signed the divorce papers without hesitation. What could she possibly want now? I'm going to do some digging, Jake said. See if I can find out anything about her current situation. In the meantime, you should probably check if she's been stalking your social media or anything like that. After I hung up with Jake, I opened my Instagram. I'd posted pictures of Avery and me over the past 2 years. Not a ton, because I'm not really a social media person. But there were photos of us at restaurants, at the beach, hiking. I checked my followers list, but I didn't see Miranda's name. Then I started looking at my followers more carefully. There were a bunch of accounts I didn't recognize. Generic usernames, no profile pictures, no posts. I clicked on one and saw it had been created 3 months ago. Another one was 6 months old. Another, a year. Someone had been watching me, and I was pretty sure I knew who. I was about to start blocking the suspicious accounts when my phone rang. It was a number I didn't recognize, but something made me answer it. Hello? Is this about Miranda? A woman's voice asked. She sounded young, maybe mid-20s. Who is this? My name is Jessica. I was seeing Dean until about a month ago. Dean, Miranda's boyfriend, the guy she'd left me for. What do you want? I asked. I just thought you should know that Miranda and Dean are still together, Jessica said. She didn't move back in with her parents because he kicked her out. She's been living with them for like a week as part of some plan. Dean's been helping her. What plan? I don't know all the details, Jessica said, but I overheard them talking about getting your house. Dean was laughing about it, saying you were so pathetic you'd probably just hand it over if Miranda played the victim well enough. My house. I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach. Why are you telling me this? I asked. Because Dean cheated on me, she said simply. He told me he was ending things with Miranda to be with me, but then I found out he was playing both of us. I'm not trying to help you out of the goodness of my heart. I just want to screw them over. Fair enough, I said. Do you have any proof? Messages? Recordings? Anything? No, she admitted, but I know where they are right now. Dean's parents' cabin, about 2 hours north of the city. If you go there, you'll catch them together. She gave me the address and hung up. I sat there for a minute, trying to decide if this was a trap or if Jessica was telling the truth. Either way, I needed to know what was going on. I grabbed my car keys and headed north. The cabin was exactly where Jessica said it would be, tucked away in the woods at the end of a long gravel road, and parked in the driveway, right next to Miranda's old Toyota, was a black Range Rover. I looked up the plates on my phone and confirmed it was registered to Dean. I walked up to the cabin as quietly as I could. The windows were dark, but I could see light coming from inside. I crept around to the side of the house where the voices were coming from and pulled out my phone. I started recording. He totally bought it, Miranda was saying. Her voice was muffled through the window, but I could hear her clearly enough. His whole family showed up this morning. His mom was literally crying. Dean laughed. Did you see his face yesterday when you showed up? God, he looked like he was going to pass out. I know, Miranda said, and I could hear the smile in her voice. And that stupid ring his new girlfriend was wearing? So tacky. Like I'm doing him a favor, honestly. So what's the timeline? Dean asked. A few more weeks of my parents playing along, maybe a month. Then we use the deed thing, force the sale, and split the money. His house is worth at least $400K now. We clear $200 each after fees. Minimum. And he's really not going to fight it? He won't even know until it's too late, Miranda said. By the time he figures out what we did, the paperwork will already be filed. And with his family on our side, even if he tries to contest it, he'll look like the bad guy. You're kind of brilliant, you know that? Dean said. I know, Miranda replied. God, I can't believe I wasted 6 years with him. He was so boring. You're way better in bed anyway. They both laughed. I stopped recording and stepped back from the window, my hands shaking. Avery was right. This whole thing was a setup. They were after my house. I got back in my car and drove home. The whole way, my mind was racing. Miranda had forged those messages somehow. She'd manipulated my family. She was planning to steal my house using some kind of deed loophole from our divorce, and I had proof of all of it on my phone. When I got home, I immediately texted Jake the recording. Then I called my property lawyer, the same one who'd handled my divorce 6 years ago. It was late, but he answered anyway. I need you to pull every document from my divorce with Miranda, I said. Every single piece of paper we signed. I think she forged something or there's some kind of loophole she's trying to exploit. It's 9 p.m., he said. I'll pay you triple your hourly rate, I said. This is an emergency, he sighed. Fine, give me until tomorrow afternoon. I'll review everything. I hung up and sat down on my couch. My phone buzzed with a text from Avery. Are you okay? I sent her the recording. 5 minutes later, she called. Oh my God. Yeah, I said. Your family needs to hear this, she said. I know. I'm coming home, she said. Right now. We're dealing with this together. She showed up 20 minutes later with her overnight bag still in her car. When she walked in, she went straight to me and hugged me so tight I could barely breathe. I'm sorry I left, she said into my shoulder. I shouldn't have walked out like that. You had every right to be upset, I said. I should have told them about you a long time ago. We'll fix that, she said. But first, we're going to fix this Miranda situation. And then we're going to have a very serious conversation with your family. The next day, my lawyer called me back. You need to come to my office, he said. His voice was tight. Now, Avery and I drove to his office. He had papers spread out all over his desk, and he looked furious. Your ex-wife forged your signature, he said without preamble. He slid a document across the desk. This is a quit-claim deed filed 3 months ago. It grants her retroactive partial ownership of your property, based on a claim that you verbally agreed to add her to the title during your marriage. I never agreed to that, I said. I know, he said, because that's your signature right there. And it's not your signature. It's close, but it's a forgery. She filed this with the county clerk's office. If she'd waited another month to act on it, it would have been much harder to contest. Can we stop it? Avery asked. Absolutely, my lawyer said. We file a fraud complaint, submit handwriting analysis, and get this thrown out. But she's also opened herself up to criminal charges for fraud and forgery. Do you want to press charges? Yes, I said immediately. Good, he said. I'll start the paperwork. In the meantime, you should probably let your family know what's really going on. I created a group chat with my mom, dad, brother, and aunt. I added Jake too for moral support. Then I posted the recording. The chat exploded. My phone started buzzing non-stop with messages. My mom called me 17 times in a row. I didn't answer. I let them listen to Miranda and Dean planning to defraud me, laughing about manipulating my family, mocking me. Finally, I sent one message. This is who you wanted me to take back. She forged legal documents to steal my house. She's been with Dean this whole time. Everything she told you was a lie. My mom tried calling again. This time, I answered. Honey, I'm so sorry. She was crying. I didn't know. We didn't know. You should have asked me, I said. My voice was calmer than I expected. You should have trusted me. Instead, you showed up at my house and told the woman I'm going to marry that she was just some girl. You chose Miranda over me without even asking for my side. We made a mistake, my dad said. He must have been on speakerphone. A huge mistake. But you have to understand, she was so convincing. She showed us those messages. Fake messages, I interrupted. She faked everything. And you believed her because it was easier than believing I'd actually moved on and found someone better. There was silence on the other end. There's something else you should know, I said. Miranda's parents offered to pay for your Hawaii vacation if you convinced me to take her back. Did you know about that? More silence. Then my mom's voice, small and ashamed. Your father and I discussed it. We thought if we could just get you two talking again, you'd realize how much you missed her. The vacation was just an incentive. We would have tried to help anyway. You sold me out, I said flatly. You sold out your own son for a free trip to Hawaii. It wasn't like that, my dad said, but his voice lacked conviction. It was exactly like that, I said. You took a bribe from Miranda's parents to manipulate me into getting back together with the woman who destroyed me 6 years ago. And you didn't even question whether she was telling the truth. We're sorry, my mom sobbed. We're so sorry. I know, I said. But sorry doesn't fix this. You're not invited to the wedding. None of you are. I'm marrying Avery in 3 months and you won't be there. You can't mean that, my brother said. Come on, man. We screwed up, but we're family. Family doesn't do what you did, I said. Family trusts you. Family has your back. You had Miranda's back, not mine. I hung up. Avery was sitting next to me on the couch. She took my hand. You okay? She asked. I will be, I said. 2 days later, Miranda tried to file a police report claiming I'd threatened her. She told the officer I'd followed her to Dean's cabin and tried to break in. The officer took her statement, then I showed him the recording on my phone. "Ma'am," the officer said, his tone cold now. "Filing a false police report is a crime. Based on this evidence, you were at this location willingly with another individual discussing fraud. I suggest you leave now before I decide to pursue charges." Miranda's face went bright red. She tried to argue, but the officer cut her off. "Leave," he said. "Now." She left. The officer turned to me. "Keep that recording safe. You're going to need it." That night, Avery and I were having dinner when she put down her fork and looked at me. "I can't marry you," she said. My heart stopped. "What? Not because I don't love you," she said quickly. "I do. God, I love you so much. But I can't marry into your family. Not after what they did. They would poison our marriage. Every holiday, every family event, every time they looked at me, I'd be the girl who wasn't Miranda. The girl who stole you away from your true love. They know the truth now," I said. "Do they?" she asked. "Really? Or are they just sorry they got caught? Your mom called me this afternoon." "She what?" "She called me," Avery said. "She said she wanted to apologize. But then she spent 20 minutes talking about how Miranda seemed so sincere, how they all really thought they were helping you. She never once actually said she was sorry for how she treated me. She was just sorry the plan didn't work." I didn't know what to say. "I need you to understand something," Avery said. "I'm not asking you to choose between me and your family. I'm telling you that I can't be part of a family that fundamentally doesn't respect our relationship. They might tolerate me now because they have to, but they'll never actually accept me, and I deserve better than that. We deserve better than that." She was right. She'd been right about everything from the beginning. "So what are you saying?" I asked. "I'm saying that if you want to marry me, we do it without them," she said. "We elope, or we have a small ceremony with our real friends, the people who actually support us, and we build our own family, just us." "Okay," I said. "Okay, okay," I repeated. "You're right, about all of it. They don't deserve to be at our wedding. They don't deserve to be part of our life together. So we'll do it without them." She smiled, and it was the first real smile I'd seen from her in days. "You mean that?" "I mean it," I said. "You're my family now. You're the only family I need." She leaned across the table and kissed me. The next few weeks were chaotic. My lawyer filed all the necessary paperwork to nullify Miranda's forged documents. The handwriting analysis came back, confirming the forgery. Miranda was facing potential criminal charges, and my lawyer was coordinating with the district attorney's office. My family kept trying to reach out. My mom sent flowers. My dad left voicemails. My brother showed up at my house twice, but I didn't answer the door. My aunt sent a card with a check for $5,000, like money could fix what they'd done. I returned the check. Then, 2 weeks after everything exploded, Miranda showed up at Avery's school. Avery called me during her lunch break, her voice shaking. "Your ex-wife is here." "What?" "She's in the front office," Avery said. "She told them she's your wife and that I'm having an affair with you. The principal wants to see me." "I'm on my way," I said. "Don't talk to anyone until I get there." I broke every speed limit getting to Avery's school. When I walked into the principal's office, Miranda was sitting there with this smug look on her face. Avery was in the other chair, her arms crossed, her face pale. The principal, a tired-looking woman in her 50s, looked up when I walked in. "And you are?" "I'm Avery's fiancé," I said. "And this woman," I pointed at Miranda, "is my ex-wife who I divorced 6 years ago. She's currently under investigation for fraud and forgery." Miranda's smug expression faltered. The principal looked between us. "I was told you were married to this woman." "I was," I said. 6 years ago. We've been divorced for 6 years. This woman has been stalking me and my fiancé. She's been trying to manipulate my family into pressuring me to get back together with her so she can defraud me out of my house." I pulled out my phone and showed the principal the recording. Her expression grew darker as she listened. When it finished, she turned to Miranda. "Get out of my school. If you come back, I'll have you arrested for trespassing." Miranda stood up, her face bright red. "You can't. Get out," the principal repeated. "Now." Miranda left. The principal turned to Avery. "I'm sorry for the confusion," she said. "Your personal life is your own business. This matter is closed." Avery nodded, but I could see her hands shaking. We left the school together. In the car, Avery finally broke down. "She came to my work," Avery said through tears. "She tried to get me fired. She tried to ruin my career over a man she threw away 6 years ago. What is wrong with her?" "I don't know," I said, "but we're gonna stop her. I promise." That evening, I decided it was time to confront Miranda's parents. I'd been avoiding them, but they needed to know what their daughter was doing. I drove to their house. Miranda's dad answered the door, and his expression immediately turned hostile. "What do you want?" "I want to talk about your daughter," I said. About the lies she's been telling. About the fraud she's committing. Miranda made a mistake 6 years ago, he said, but she's trying to make amends. You're the one dragging this out, refusing to forgive her. She forged my signature on legal documents, I said. She's trying to steal my house. And today she went to my fiancé's school and tried to get her fired. That's not what happened, Miranda's mom said, appearing behind her husband. Miranda just wanted to talk to you, but that woman has you so twisted around her finger that you can't see straight. I have proof, I said. Recordings, documents, everything. Then show us, Miranda's dad said. I was about to pull out my phone when I noticed something in their driveway. A black Range Rover, Dean's car. He's here, isn't he? I said. Dean's here right now. Miranda's parents exchanged a look. I walked past them into their house. They tried to stop me, but I was already through the living room and heading toward the back of the house where I could hear voices. I pushed open the door to what looked like a home office, and there they were. Miranda and Dean sitting together at a desk, laptop open between them. They looked up when I walked in, and the color drained from Miranda's face. What are you doing here? She asked. I could ask you the same thing, I said. Thought you and Dean were broken up. Thought he kicked you out. Thought you were living with your parents because you had nowhere else to go. Dean stood up. You need to leave. Not yet, I said. I pulled out my phone and started recording again. See, I've been doing some digging, and I found out something interesting. You two never broke up at all, did you? That's none of your business, Miranda said. It became my business when you tried to steal my house, I said. When you lied to my family, when you forged my signature, when you showed up at my fiancé's workplace and tried to ruin her career. I don't know what you're talking about, Miranda said, but her voice was shaking. Yes, you do, I said. I turned to her parents, who were standing in the doorway now. Your daughter and her boyfriend have been running a con. They're still together. They never broke up. She moved back in with you temporarily as part of a plan to manipulate me and my family. They were going to use a forged deed to force a sale of my house and split the profits. That's ridiculous, Miranda's dad said. But he was looking at his daughter now, and I could see the doubt creeping into his eyes. Show them the deed, I said to Miranda. The one you filed with the county. The one with my forged signature. Miranda's face went white. I already filed fraud charges, I said. My lawyer has all the evidence. The handwriting analysis proves you forged my signature. You're looking at criminal charges, both of you. Dean moved toward me. You need to leave, right now. Or what? I asked. You'll assault me too? That'll look great in court. Miranda's mom stepped forward. Miranda, is this true? Have you been lying to us? Mom, it's not what he's making it sound like, Miranda started, but her mother cut her off. Did you forge his signature? Yes or no? Miranda didn't answer. Get out, Miranda's dad said, but he wasn't talking to me. He was talking to Miranda and Dean. Both of you, get out of my house. Dad, I said get out, he roared. We paid your bills. We gave you a place to stay. We embarrassed ourselves begging this man to take you back. And you were lying to us the whole time? Miranda started crying, but her parents weren't moved. They physically escorted her and Dean out of the house. I watched from the doorway as Miranda's mom gathered up what looked like Miranda's belongings from a bedroom and threw them onto the lawn. Miranda's dad turned to me. I'm sorry for everything. We had no idea. You paid for my family's vacation to Hawaii if they could convince me to take her back, I said. He had the decency to look ashamed. We thought we were helping. We thought you two just needed a push to work things out. We were wrong. Yeah, I said. You were. I left them there and drove home. Avery was waiting up for me. How did it go? She asked. They kicked her out, I said. For real this time. Good, Avery said. We went to bed that night feeling like maybe, finally, this was over. But I should have known better. The next morning, I was at work in the middle of a company-wide meeting when there was a commotion at the door. Miranda pushed past security and into the conference room. He has a child, she screamed. We have a child together and he abandoned us. The entire room went silent. Every single person turned to look at me. My boss, a no-nonsense woman named Patricia, stood up. Ma'am, you need to leave. He got me pregnant 6 years ago and left us. Miranda was crying now, real tears streaming down her face. I've been trying to get him to take responsibility, but he won't even acknowledge his own daughter. I felt like the room was spinning. This was insane. This was beyond anything she'd done before. We don't have a child, I said, but my voice sounded weak even to my own ears. Her name is Sophie, Miranda said. She's 5 years old. She has your eyes. She asks about her daddy every single day. Patricia looked at me. Is this true? No, I said firmly. I haven't seen or spoken to this woman in 6 years. We don't have a child. She's lying. Why would I lie about something like this? Miranda asked. She was looking around the room now, playing to the audience. I just want him to be a father to his daughter. That's all I've ever wanted. If you had a child together, you would have mentioned it during the divorce, Patricia said. I didn't know I was pregnant until after the divorce was finalized, Miranda said smoothly. I was going to tell him, but he blocked me on everything. He wouldn't return my calls. I had to raise our daughter alone. This is insane, I said. None of this is true. Then take a paternity test, Miranda challenged. If you're so sure she's not yours, Prove it. Security finally managed to escort her out, but the damage was done. I could see the way my coworkers were looking at me. The doubt, the judgment. Patricia asked me to step into her office. "I need you to sort this out," she said. "I don't care if it's true or not, I need this resolved. We can't have people showing up at the office making scenes like this. It's disruptive and unprofessional." "It's not true," I said. "She's lying. We don't have a child." "Then prove it," Patricia said. "Take whatever time you need. But until this is cleared up, I think it's best if you work from home." I left work, feeling like my entire life was falling apart. I called Avery from my car. "She showed up at my job," I said. "She claimed we have a child together." "What?" Avery's voice went sharp. "That's impossible." "I know," I said. "But my boss asked me to work from home until it's sorted out." "Avery, I need you to believe me. We don't have a child. This is another one of her lies." "I believe you," Avery said immediately. "Of course I believe you. But we need to prove she's lying." We met with my lawyer that afternoon. I explained what had happened, and he leaned back in his chair, steepling his fingers. "This is actually good for us," he said. "How is this good?" I asked. "Because it's provably false," he said. "If she's claiming you have a 5-year-old child together, we can easily disprove that. Medical records, timeline analysis, DNA tests if she actually produces a child, which I doubt she will. This is desperation. She's throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks. So, what do I do? Document everything," he said. "Save any messages she sends. Record any interactions. We're building a case not just for fraud, but for harassment. And after this stunt at your workplace, we might be able to get a restraining order." Avery and I went home and put together a timeline of our entire relationship. Every date we could remember, every trip, every major event. We pulled bank statements, credit card records, anything that could prove where I'd been and what I'd been doing for the past 6 years. I also got my medical records. I'd had a vasectomy 4 years ago after deciding I didn't want kids. It was something I'd talked about with my therapist after Miranda left. One of the ways I was taking control of my life. The procedure was documented, dated, and completely disproved any possibility that I could be the father of a 5-year-old child. We brought everything to my boss's office the next day. I showed her the medical records, the timeline, everything. "I physically cannot have children," I said. "This procedure was done 4 years ago. Whatever child she's claiming is mine, it's impossible." Patricia looked at the medical records, then at me. "I'm sorry for doubting you. You can come back to work whenever you're ready." "Thank you," I said. That afternoon, my lawyer filed for a restraining order against Miranda. We had the recordings, the forged documents, the false police report, the scene at Avery's school, the scene at my workplace. It was enough. The hearing was set for 2 weeks later. In the meantime, Miranda kept trying. She sent messages to my phone from new numbers. She created fake social media accounts and tagged me in posts about deadbeat dads. She sent letters to my house addressed to Sophie's father. Avery started sleeping with a baseball bat next to the bed. I installed security cameras around the house. We were both exhausted, constantly looking over our shoulders, waiting for Miranda's next move. Then, 3 days before the restraining order hearing, I got a call from an unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. "Hello? Is this about Miranda?" a man's voice asked. "Who is this?" "My name is Dean," the voice said, and my blood ran cold. "What do you want?" "To talk," he said. "I think you and I have been played. You're the one helping her scam me," I said. "I was," he said, "but I found out some things I think you need to know." "I'm not interested in your games," I started, but he cut me off. "She catfished me too," he said. 6 years ago when she was with you, she told me she was pregnant with my baby. That's why I left my ex-wife. That's why I pushed her to leave you, but she was never pregnant. She lied about the whole thing." I sat down. "Why are you telling me this?" "Because she's doing it again," Dean said. "She told me a month ago that she was pregnant with my kid, showed me a positive pregnancy test and everything, but then I saw the test in the trash and checked the date. It was from 3 years ago. She's been carrying around the same pregnancy test, using it to manipulate men." "Jesus," I said. "She's spiraling," Dean said. "She's about to turn 30 and she's got nothing. No career, no money, no relationship that's not built on lies. She thought she could get your house, use that money to start over, but now that it's falling apart, she's getting desperate. So what do you want from me?" "I'm willing to testify," Dean said. "At your restraining order hearing, I'll tell them everything. How she manipulated me 6 years ago, how she's manipulating people now, how she forged those documents. All of it." "Why would you do that?" I asked. "You helped her try to steal my house." "Because I'm done," he said simply. "I wasted 6 years with her. I left my wife for her. I helped her with this insane plan, and she's been lying to me the whole time. I want out, and I want to make sure she can't do this to anyone else." "I'll talk to my lawyer," I said. I hung up and immediately called my attorney. He was skeptical at first, but when I explained what Dean had told me, he agreed it could be useful. If he's willing to testify about her patterns of manipulation, about the forged documents, it strengthens our case considerably, my lawyer said. "Set up a meeting. I want to talk to him directly. The meeting happened 2 days later. Dean showed up at my lawyer's office looking tired and defeated. He brought documentation with him, text messages where Miranda had told him about being pregnant, photos of the pregnancy test, a timeline of their relationship that matched what he'd told me on the phone. She told me she miscarried, Dean said. 3 months after I left my wife, she was crying, devastated. I consoled her. I stayed with her because I felt like I'd already destroyed my marriage for her. Might as well make it work. But there was never a pregnancy. She made the whole thing up. My lawyer recorded the whole conversation. Then he asked, "Are you willing to put this in a sworn affidavit?" "Yes," Dean said. He looked at me. "I know you probably hate me. I helped her try to steal from you, but she lied to me too. She's been lying to everyone." "I don't hate you," I said, and I was surprised to find it was true. "I pity you. You wasted 6 years with someone who was using you." "Yeah," Dean said quietly. "I did." The restraining order hearing was the next day. Miranda showed up with a lawyer, looking confident. She probably thought I didn't have enough evidence. She probably thought she could charm the judge like she'd charmed my family. My lawyer presented everything: the forged documents, the recordings, the testimony from her parents, the false police report, the scene at Avery's school, the scene at my workplace. Then Dean took the stand. Miranda's face went white when she saw him. She actually tried to stand up, but her lawyer pulled her back down. Dean testified about everything: the fake pregnancy 6 years ago, the manipulation, the plan to defraud me, the current fake pregnancy. He was calm, factual, devastating. When he finished, the judge looked at Miranda with undisguised disgust. "Mrs. Miranda," the judge said, "I'm granting the restraining order. You are to have no contact with the petitioner, his fiancé, his family, his workplace, or any of his known associates. Violation of this order will result in immediate arrest. Furthermore, I'm forwarding this case to the district attorney's office for criminal prosecution of the forgery and fraud charges. Do you understand?" Miranda was crying. Not the manipulative tears from before, but real, ugly sobs. "I just wanted him back," she said. "He was supposed to be mine. We were supposed to grow old together." "That's enough," the judge said. "Bailiff, please escort her out." Avery squeezed my hand as we watched Miranda being led from the courtroom. It was over. Finally, it was over. Dean caught up with us in the hallway outside. "I'm sorry," he said, "for everything." "Thank you," I said, "for testifying." He nodded and walked away. I never saw him again. Make sure to click on the screen to watch another story.